Hello everyone, this is Mossy Mysterioso, and welcome back to my channel. Now, first of all, I'm sure you're wondering, why is the screen black, and why can you not see my face? And the reason for that is, this is going to be a bit of a different video for the channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the new Superman movie that came out last Friday, I think? Yeah, last Friday. And also, I'm going to throw up a big flashy warning on the screen right now that says spoiler alert, because I'm going to be talking about spoilers. So if you do not want spoilers for this film, and you haven't seen it yet, then please click away and watch the movie before you watch this. If you don't care and want spoilers anyway, then sure, why not? Go ahead. I'll give you 5 seconds to click away or make your decision. Okay. Let's get into the good stuff. Also, this is a friendly reminder to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on this video, and also comment about what you thought of the Superman film. Friendly reminder. Wink wink, nudge nudge. The tone of the movie. Okay, so, let's first talk about the tone and just this movie as a movie. Did it live up to its hype? I think yes. I think it most certainly did live up to its hype. It is a feel-good movie. Watching it made me feel good. It made me feel hopeful for superheroes, and also just made me feel good. Like I just said, it's a feel-good movie. And David Cornsweet as Superman, pretty dang good casting. Even though I didn't know who he was before this, he's a really good Superman. I say up there with Christopher Reeves, at least. Also, this movie is so colorful and just fun. And that's something I don't think we've seen in DC or really any comic books as of recently. They're all kind of gritty and dark. Or I guess that's more with DC. But anyway, this is a very colorful and fun and just light-hearted movie. Even though there's kind of some, violence, because, there's fighting in it. Superhero film. There's always going to be a fight. Or fights. But when this movie was announced in, what was it, like January of 2023? What was it? Yeah, that was like late January 2023 when this film was announced. I was very, very skeptical of this, and I was like, oh great, another new Superman. And then the first teaser came out for it in December of 2024. With the humming theme of Superman, the motion poster. I'll throw a picture or screenshot of it up on the screen right now. I saw that teaser, and it immediately put me at ease. Hearing that, gave me actual goosebumps, and it gave me hope. Not just for the future of DC, but it just made me feel like I should, have hope. Not even for anything in particular, just have hope for something. The surprises. Okay, now we're going to do some things, or I'm going to talk about some things that were very decent surprises to me. Them being Metamorpho and Mr. Terrific. Let's start with Mr. Terrific first. I knew of him going into this. I didn't know he was going to be in the movie until I saw the first teaser trailer. But I was expecting him to but when I did find out he was going to be in the movie, I was kind of expecting him just to be kind of, tech-savvy guy. He's smart, has tech, he's rich. Tony Stark, but DC and kind of less industrial, I guess. Not as armored up. But then I saw the movie, and he was actually one of the funniest parts of the movie. He just had a line or reaction to something that threw me off guard, and I cracked up. Or I didn't crack up because, I was in a theater, so I couldn't be loud. But I wanted to laugh out loud because it was actually funny. And also, Eddie Gathegi, the guy who plays Mr. Terrific, plays him really well. I know he was in an X-Men movie where he played Darwin. Wasn't that who he played? The adapting mutant. But I'm kind of excited to see what happens to this character coming forward, because I feel like he's gonna do a lot of explaining about this. He's like it feels like Mr. Terrific in this universe is kind of sort of Tony Starkish. Like he has a lot of answers and a lot of knowledge that can help explain things. So I'm all for that. That's gonna be really helpful down the line. Now on to Metamorpho, played by Anthony Carrigan, aka NoHo Hank. You know, the bald, hairless guy from Barry. That guy. Yeah, he doesn't look the same, does he? That's because the makeup is that good. Now, I'll be honest, before this movie, I had no idea who Metamorpho was. I had never heard of him, nor had I never seen him. But I knew who Anthony Carrigan was, so that kind of made me curious. So I looked into it, and I fell in love with him. I fell in love with that character. For those that don't know, Metamorpho, or his alter ego, Rex Mason, was an archaeologist who's cursed or tricked by a man named Simon Stagg. Simon Stagg is like a big tech corporation person. He tricks Rex Mason and what was it? He's like, he doesn't want Rex dating his daughter, so he tricks him and curses him or something, and Rex becomes this. And his powers are that he can turn into any element on the periodic table, or I think any combination of elements on the periodic table, right? And I remember looking at the evolution of Metamorpho in like cartoons and stuff. And from what I saw, he's like a really kind of unique character. He like shapeshifts a lot. He can kind of stretch and slink through, out of, tight situations, or kind of slick through small spaces or stuff like that. So I was very curious to see what they were going to do with him in live action. In fact, the reason why Metamorpho was a surprise for me is because he had such a big part. Well, not big, but he had a lot more screen time than I thought he was going to have. I mean, I thought because he was like such a big shape-shifting character in, animations and all that, I thought he would barely be in it. But nope. He's actually in it for a pretty decent amount. And they also show him shape-shifting a little bit, which I was very shocked to see. Crypto. We gotta love Crypto. He's the other funniest part of this film. He's a very hyper dog with superpowers. And every time he did something, whether he was like pouncing on Superman, hurting him even more, or just causing utter chaos, or, spoiler again, beating the crap out of Lex Luthor when, like, close to the end. He's so funny. And I really hope we see him again. Because, again, spoiler alert, he's not actually Superman or Kal-El's dog. He's Supergirl. He's Supergirl's. He's her dog, not Superman's. Which was actually something I didn't see coming. I thought he was honestly going to be Superman's. But, so maybe that means he's going to be in the Supergirl movie that comes out in next year sometime. I forget when. Ultraman and his plot twist. Now, I'll be honest, I heard New Rockstars kind of predict this for a few months, or no, not for a few months. They predicted that Ultraman will be played by David Corenswet a few weeks, if not a month or two before the movie was released, and I was like, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. And sure enough, that's what happened. Now, was I disappointed by this? No! I thought it was a really smart move. Even though I was expecting it, I still loved it. You can still have something you're, expecting to happen and still like it. I saw some theories saying that he may become Bizarro down the line, like he kind of had that dumb look on his face, and he also got sucked into a black hole with all those cubes. I think that's possible, but I also think that's not going to be for a long while. I mean, Bizarro's like a really kind of... He's not... No. I don't know. I think it's possible, but I can also see them not doing it. But I would so love to see Bizarro in live action. Because we never have seen him in live action. The closest we've gotten to him being in quote-unquote live action was Injustice 2, the video game, which, I mean, that's not live action, but, you know, they're made to look like real people, even though they're clearly animated characters. No origin story. Let's get into another thing I love about this. The fact that there isn't an origin story. It's barely even touched on. And I kind of applaud James Gunn for that. Because he made a tweet recently where he said that there are 3 characters that we don't need to see the origin story for again, being Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man. We've seen their origin stories done so many times that we don't really need to see it again. It's just that deeply rooted in our comic book culture that we kind of just know them at this point. It's kind of like what Matt Reeves did with The Batman, where it's not an origin story, but it's also not, you know, picking up as if it is picking up from something else. It's not doing that at all. It's like, you know, it's early on in Superman's career as Superman. It's exactly what they did for the Batman. Also, they have a little sort of epilogue at the beginning, kind of like, I was going to say Star Wars, but it's not like Star Wars at all. But there are some kind of texts on screen that's an epilogue that kind of tells you what's going on. You know, it tells you superheroes have been around for 300 years. And Kal-El has been on Earth for 30 years. And he's been Superman for 3 years. And he didn't fight. He stopped a war between Boravia and the other country that I don't remember the name of, but it had a really long name. And he lost a battle for the first time against the Hammer of Boravia. I mean, that's context that we need both for this universe and for this movie done in just 5 seconds, if not more. Which, that was a pretty damn smart move, James Gunn, so I applaud you, sir. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice... Okay, now, into what might be my favorite moment of this, the Hall of Justice. Now, why do I like the Hall of Justice in this movie so much? Well, it's because, if you know anything about me, if you've been a fan of this channel for a while, is that you know that I'm from Cincinnati, and I still live in Cincinnati, you know, city of Chile, Queen City, all that. Now, if you are also from Cincinnati, or have been to Cincinnati, you know about Union Terminal, which, yeah, looks a lot like the Hall of Justice, but there's a lot more history to it. So for those who don't know, Union Terminal used to be a train station in the 1900s, like the 1910s or 20s or 30s, I don't know, somewhere in there. And it shut down, and now it's a museum, and it's still a museum. I've gone there a few times myself. But here's a really cool detail. In the animated show, you know, the one that has the Hall of Justice, the animated one, you know, Meanwhile, the Hall of Justice, that Hall of Justice was modeled after this building. So this building is the OG. And I find that so smart to go back to the place that was based on the place that the Hall of Justice was based on. That feels like they're going back to basics, which I love a lot. Also, I'll be honest, seeing a building that I've been to several times was kind of weird. Like, seeing a place I've been to on a movie screen was so surreal. This movie gave me everything I wanted in a comic book film. It had emotional moments that I kind of wanted to cry for, but I didn't, and even though I kind of wanted to, honestly. It also felt just very positive in a world of so much, you know, negativity nowadays. It was good to have a part of positivity in this world. And that didn't make sense. But you know what I mean. This movie is such a positive take on Superman and comic book films. And I am just so excited to see the future of it. And also, I'm curious to see what the DCU equivalent of Avengers Endgame is going to be, because I feel like that's going to be insane, but that's probably not for another... I mean, how long did James Gunn say this plan was when he announced everything? It was like an 8 to 10 year plan. So I'm assuming this isn't gonna, there's not gonna be a big, Endgame style DC version of that film for another 7 years at least, maybe 8, maybe even 10 years. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if it took that long, because you know what James Gunn's policy is. It's not gonna get greenlit until the script is done, which 100% agree with that. But also, it's kind of like, dang it, gotta wait for more of it. But you know what? And that's what makes a movie good. More time to cook, so it's not raw in the middle. And yeah, that was my talk about the new Superman film, with spoilers. I really hope you all enjoyed this. Please leave a like if you did, and also please hit the subscribe button if you want to see more and if you actually enjoyed. And if you want me to do more videos like this, please leave a comment, because I actually kind of had fun making this video. So, yeah, be sure to let me know if you want to see more of these, and I will gladly make some more. Also, if you do want me to make more, comment what I should talk about, whether that's Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, or the other DCU projects, or Spider-Man Brand New Day, or what else is there? I don't know. Whatever you want me to talk about. And I'll do it. And with all that being said, thank you. I love you guys very much, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.